Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. This is Adrienne with Hamilton Homestead. Buckle up because there's a new recipe in town and I am really excited to share it with you. I've been working on this recipe for a few weeks and it's now ready for its debut. It's a Cranberry Pomegranate Cheesecake. It is delicious, easy to make, gluten-free, no bake, make-ahead friendly, easy to serve, and an after-dinner showstopper. Really, it's easily the most delicious, most beautiful, definitely the most festive holiday dessert I've made in a long time. And I'm willing to bet that if you serve this cranberry pomegranate cheesecake to friends, they will want the recipe. Oh, and yes, it's also outstanding for breakfast. So, step one, let's get going. First step, I have washed and removed the unripe and overripe cranberries. And they're going to go in my saucepan here. And that is 12 ounces of cranberries. And then we are going to use 3/4 of a cup of pomegranate juice. Now, this is called Pom Wonderful, and I get it at Sam's Club. Let's see if I can get that back there. It's 100% pomegranate juice. Really yummy. Anyway, that's what I'm going to be using as the pomegranate flavor in my sauce. So in goes the 3/4 of a cup, and then we are also going to add 1/3 of a cup of sugar. And I'm going to bring that up to heat and let those berries cook. Okay, cranberries are looking really good. They are softening. Now this has gotten a little thicker than I want it to be, so I'm going to add another 1/4 cup of pomegranate juice. So now that would be a cup of pomegranate juice that I've put in here. Yeah, that looks a little better. It reduced down just a little further than I wanted it to, so. And now I'm going to add about a teaspoon of orange zest and 2 tablespoons of butter. And when I make a sauce like this that's kind of sweet, I like to balance it with just a pinch of salt. And that's looking really good. Okay, let's give it a taste and make sure that it doesn't need any more sugar or the consistency is right. I do think it's a little more tart than I want it to be. Here we go. It's a good thing we tasted this. We're going to use that 1/2 cup of sugar instead of just 1/3 of a cup of sugar. So I will put this recipe in the description. And again, we use 12 ounces of fresh berries, 1 cup of pomegranate juice, 1/2 cup of sugar, a teaspoon of orange zest, and 2 tablespoons of butter. And these berries are now soft, so I'm going to take them off the burner and let them cool. Okay, get these off the burner and out of this hot pan. And let them cool just a bit before we blend them up. Time to make the crust. Now, full disclosure here, I tasted this honey and I don't like the taste of it. So I have 3, I guess you would say, well, definitely 3 different kinds of honey in my house, and it's definitely different quality honey. This is a Member's Mark honey, product of USA, Proud Clover honey, but it just doesn't have the honey flavor that I want. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that honey, but I'm not using it in this crust. So I'm going to go get rid of that, and I'll show you what honey I am going to use. I guess you could call me a bit of a honey snob, but this is local honey that I get at Spearfish Canyon, and it is really, really good. It's unprocessed. Let's see what the label says about it. Totally raw, absolutely unfiltered, Black Hills area honey. No synthetic pesticides used. There you go. That's the honey I want in my crust. Look how thick that is. So I'm going to pop that in the microwave and liquefy it. So we have store-bought honey, we have unfiltered local honey, and The creme de la creme is the honey from my friends up in Hill City. They have a beehive, but we're fortunate to get to enjoy one. So this one I save, and I put this on really good quality homemade bread and stuff. I don't cook with it or bake with it, but this is outstanding honey. This is really good honey. This, not so much. Okay, that's my honey, liquefied, probably a little bit warm. Now that tastes like honey. Okay, let's proceed. Next up, I'm going to use my ghee, which is similar, very similar to a clarified butter. There is no milk solids in it. There's all of the water has been removed from it. So it's got a very high melting point. I like to use it in this crust because, like I said, all of the water, milk solids are removed from it. It has a nice nutty flavor because I've toasted the milk solids in the butter fat. And it'll make a really nice crispy crust for our cheesecake. Just added equal part ghee to honey. So I have probably about a quarter cup of honey and a quarter cup of ghee here. And I'm mixing it up. And I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm going to add a quarter teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to use popcorn salt because it's very fine and it integrates really well into a dish like this. So I get unflavored popcorn salt, and I use it in gravies and sauces and in this sort of dish. Okay, so we have our honey, our ghee, our vanilla, and a little bit of salt. Now in goes the oats, and I'm going to add 2 cups of oats. Okay, so mixed in, and when my oven is warm, and we will be toasting this mixture in a very low heat oven at 250 degrees. Like I said, I've been working on this recipe for a little bit now, so we've enjoyed a couple cheesecakes, and I gotta tell you, we like this crust better than graham cracker crust. And I did not think I would be saying that because I love graham cracker crust, but you gotta try this. It's really yummy. Okay, so I will pop this in a 250 degree oven and keep a pretty close eye on it. Let's finish this up. Got my Ninja bullet here. And this is still slightly warm. You can see the consistency of it is pretty thick. Okay. Yeah, that's tart and sweet. It's gonna be yummy with that cheesecake. Okay. Cranberry pomegranate sauce is ready. Oatmeal mixture has been toasted. And the next step, very simple too, is we're gonna put in the food processor. I'm gonna use this blade. And in it goes. To go in is just another couple tablespoons of ghee, and then we're going to pulse it. We don't want to completely powder this, we just want to mix it a little and break it up just a little bit. That's it. You can see the consistency of it. Okay, so I'm going to make a medium-sized cheesecake and a small-sized cheesecake out of this. That way I can share one with a friend. And then I'm just going to take my spatula and gently press it down. Okay, there they are, ready to go. I'm going to put them back in a 350-degree oven this time for 5 minutes. Just beautiful. Okay, let's get this cranberry pomegranate cheesecake finished up. I will be using 3 packages of cream cheese, 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, 1 cup of sour cream, half a teaspoon of vanilla, 1/4 cup of lemon juice. I've got some unflavored gelatin here that I will dissolve in a little bit of water, and I will use a pinch of salt. So, let's get going. Now, I did take this cream cheese out this morning, so it's had a few hours to come up to room temperature. And that's really important if you want your cheesecake to have the right consistency and to mix properly. And mix that up first before I add anything else. Okay. 1 cup of sour cream. I'm using my homemade sour cream. You use whatever is available to you. And I hope to show you how I make sour cream because it's so easy to do and it's really, really good. Give that a mix. We need to get our unflavored gelatin. This is just 1 envelope. This is a 1-ounce package. It has 4 envelopes in it. So that would be a 1/4 ounce envelope of unflavored gelatin that I'm using. And I'm just going to pour it on top of that cold water and it will hydrate. Okay, so the gelatin has soaked up that water that I gave it, and that was cool water, so it's kind of thick. Well, it is thick. So I'm just going to add a little hot water to loosen that up. Okay, I added a little hot water and gave it a stir, and now we'll just let that sit there for a few minutes while we add the rest of our ingredients. Okay, so we have the cream cheese and the sour cream in here. I let the mixer run with the beater for about 3-4 minutes, and it kind of made it fluffy, put a little air into the mixture. And now I'm going to add the sweetened condensed milk. And half a teaspoon of vanilla. The juice of 1 fresh lemon. And a pinch of salt. Okay, this is my unflavored gelatin. And I'm just going to drizzle that into this cheesecake batter. This will give the cheesecake more structure and it will set up really nice. As always, I'm going to give it a taste test. Make sure I don't forget anything. That's good. Okay. Okay, so this is a 9-inch springform pan. And this recipe will make 1 9-inch springform pan. Or this is an 8-inch and this is a 6-inch. So I'm just making 2 smaller ones, but you could get a very nice large cheesecake out of this recipe. So I'm just going to eyeball it and add half the batter to each pan and then a layer of the cranberry pomegranate, and I'll top it off with the remaining batter. Okay. I did put it in the squeeze bottle and now you can see why.
Okay, at this point be a little creative and add this beautiful cranberry pomegranate drizzle in any design you'd like, and then take a toothpick and swirl the two together. If you're a quilter, you'll know exactly what I mean when I say stipple the two together.
And there we go, our cranberry pomegranate gluten-free cheesecake. Isn't it beautiful? It's ready for the refrigerator. And actually, I should mention this, cheesecake is better if you make it at least a day in advance. And you can make it up to 2 days in advance, and it's still really, really good. That's nice. You can get it out of the way and have all those dishes done before you start preparing the rest of your holiday meal.
Speaking of the holidays, we hope you have a wonderful time with family and friends, and your holiday meals are special and they generate stories and tradition and memories. Happy holidays from Hamilton Homestead.